All right, today we are jumping into a book that, let's be honest, can feel a little intimidating. Leviticus. But what if I told you it's not really a rule book, but more like a roadmap, a guide to encountering God?
So let's just get this out of the way first. I think we need to talk about how this book usually makes people feel.
I mean, seriously, have you ever tried to read it and just felt completely lost? You've got all these sacrifices, these purity laws, these ancient rituals, and you're kind of left wondering, what does any of this have to do with my life right now? Yeah, it can feel like you found this super detailed instruction manual for a machine that just doesn't exist anymore. And that feeling of disconnect is totally understandable. But what if that's not the whole story? What if we've been looking at it all wrong? Let's reimagine it for a second. Instead of a random list of rules, what if Leviticus is actually a brilliant, divinely designed system? Think of it like a spiritual GPS, engineered to guide a whole nation right into the presence of a holy God. Okay, so to really understand that GPS, we have to start with one massive, game-changing idea. Get this one concept, and it changes how you see the entire book. And here it is. This is the big shift in thinking. Grace always comes before any ritual. Always. Before a single sacrifice was brought, before one priest performed a single duty, there was God's grace. So this isn't about people trying to earn God's favor. It's about them learning how to respond to it. This really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? Think about it. God had already rescued Israel from slavery in Egypt. That was a pure act of grace. So Leviticus was never a manual on how to get rescued. No, it's a guide for people who were already rescued. It's all about how to live in and take care of that amazing relationship they'd been given. So, okay, with grace as the foundation for everything, we see that God then provides three, let's call them master keys. Three absolutely essential, non-negotiable things that were needed to unlock the door to communion with Him. And those three keys are the covenant, the place, and the priesthood. You've got the relationship, the location for the encounter, and the bridge to get there. Let's break down each one. All right, first up is the covenant. This is the bedrock. It basically answers the question, why are we even doing any of this? You see, back at Mount Sinai, God made a formal covenant with Israel. And this wasn't just some casual handshake. It was a massive foundational act. It took this group of former slaves and totally transformed their identity. Suddenly, they were the people of God. It created this powerful mutual relationship of loyalty. And this promise here, this is like the constitutional moment for the entire nation. It means worship isn't about humans trying desperately to get the attention of some distant, angry God. No, it starts as the right response to a relationship that God Himself kicked off. So, now that the relationship is established, you need the next piece of the puzzle. The question becomes, okay, where is this all going to happen? Where does this communion take place? And the answer to where was the tabernacle. This was a sacred space, basically a portable sanctuary, and every single detail was designed by God Himself. Now, the point wasn't to keep people out or to keep God far away, just the opposite. It was designed to make a safe encounter with a holy God possible, so He could literally live right there in the middle of His people. And right at the very center of it all, deep inside the most holy place, you had the Ark of the Covenant. And sitting on top of the Ark was the mercy seat. Now, this wasn't just some symbolic piece of furniture. God specifically said, this is the spot. This is the exact place my presence will be and where I will speak to you. Okay, so we've got the why. That's the covenant relationship. We've got the where. That's the tabernacle, a safe place. That brings us to our third and final key, which answers the really big question, how? I mean, how does a holy God actually live among an imperfect people? The answer was the priesthood. God set apart Aaron and his family to be special mediators. You can think of them as the divinely appointed bridge between heaven and earth, the ones who made it possible for an entire community of people to safely approach and live with God. And their job wasn't to be cosmic bouncers keeping people out, no way. They were more like administrators of grace. Their entire role, everything you see here, from keeping the sanctuary pure to overseeing the offerings, it was all designed for one purpose, to keep the path to God's presence clear, safe, and wide open. So let's put all three of these keys on the table now and look at the complete picture God was building. You see how perfectly they fit together now? The covenant is the why. It's the relationship. The tabernacle is the where, the safe space. And the priesthood is the how, the mediation. Put them all together, and what do you have? You have the complete, unlocked doorway right into God's presence. And this is so important to get. These three things, they aren't obstacles. They're not some bureaucratic checklist you have to get through. They are gifts. Each one is a gracious provision from God, part of a divine architecture designed to make the impossible possible, to let imperfect people live in close community with a perfectly holy God. And in the end, it all comes back to this single beautiful promise. The entire complex system of Leviticus, it was all built just to make this a reality. It was never just about rules and rituals, it's always been about relationship. It's the story of God, against all odds, creating a way to be with the people he loves.